You've been in the tutorial for 3 years. You've watched the videos, read the threads, downloaded the app, bought the journal. You know what a calorie is. You know what sleep hygiene means. You know the habit loop. You collected every cheat code for real life and none of it has loaded. That's not a knowledge problem. That's a tutorial problem. In every game, the tutorial is designed to feel like progress. You get prompts, rewards, and checkpoints. Your XP bar moves, but the actual game hasn't started. You're still in the room they built to keep you busy before the real thing. Most people treat self-improvement the same way. The watching, the planning, and researching fires the same reward circuit as actually doing it, but nothing in your real life changes. Here's what it looks like in real life. Person wakes up, feels like garbage, decides they need to fix their sleep. So he opens up YouTube, watches a video on circadian rhythm, then another one on magnesium, then one on blue light. He stays up until 2 a.m. researching how to sleep better. Does this for 1 week. His sleep gets worse. At no point did they go to bed earlier. They prepared to solve the problem so thoroughly that they never solved it. They had a goal. They had information. They had motivation. The only thing they didn't have was reps. One real attempt. One actual night where they closed the laptop at 10 p.m. and stared at the ceiling and let it be hard. That's not a discipline problem. That's a tutorial problem. They were still in the room where learning feels like doing. The tutorial is comfortable on purpose. It gives you the feeling of progress without the risk of failure. You can't fail a tutorial. You just replay it. Nobody judges you for rewatching. Nobody sees you didn't start. That's why people stay in it for years. It never fights back, and your brain, which is wired to avoid pain and seek reward, will choose the version of progress that costs nothing every single time, unless you make it choose differently. So let's redefine ready. Most people think ready means confident, like there's some threshold you cross where starting feels obvious and comfortable and earned. That threshold doesn't exist. Ready means you watched enough that starting feels slightly less terrifying than it did yesterday. That's it. That's the whole thing. The feeling of not being ready never fully goes away. The people who actually changed their lives didn't wait for it to disappear. They started while it was still loud. Now here's the one your feed doesn't want you to hear. The algorithm keeps you in the tutorial on purpose. Every platform is built to keep you watching. Your feed doesn't know the difference between this person is learning to level up and this person is avoiding leveling up by watching other people do it. Both keep you engaged. Only one actually helps you. And every time you watch one more video before you start, the platform wins and your real life stays exactly where it is. Information is not EXP. In the game of your actual life, you don't earn experience points for knowing things. You earn them by doing things. A video you watch is not a rep. A plan you wrote is not a rep. A conversation you had about your goals, a note app full of intentions, a screenshot of someone else's routine, none of it is a rep. Reps are only reps when something real is on the line, when you can actually fail, when there's a version where it doesn't go the way you planned. That friction is the point. That's where the EXP lives. The gap between knowing and doing is not an intelligence problem. You already know. You probably known for a long time. The guy who researches sleep for 5 hours knows exactly what to do. Close the laptop. Go to bed earlier. The information was never the blocker. The gap is the moment where you have to stop consuming and start paying the cost. And paying the cost means tolerating the version of yourself that's a beginner. That's messy. That doesn't look like the person in the video. That's the only version that works. Every day in the tutorial is a day not in game. This is the part that nobody says out loud. The longer you stay in preparation mode, the more normal preparation mode feels. After enough time, the tutorial doesn't just feel comfortable. It becomes your whole identity. I'm someone who's working on it. That identity is comfortable. It also means nothing has actually changed. And the people around you, the ones who started before they were ready, are now 10 months into the game while you're still reading the patch notes. What the first real rep actually looks like, it's not the version you planned. It's worse. It's slower. It falls apart in the middle. It doesn't feel like the videos made it look, but it's the only version that counts. The first night, you actually close the laptop and go to bed. The first meal, where you eat the thing you said you'd eat. The first walk, not the plan for the walk, the one rep. The walk. That one rep, that one moment where real life pushes back and you do it anyway, is worth more than 3 years of watching other people do it. You don't need more information. You need a worse start. The plan you have right now is good enough to begin. It won't go the way you think. That's not a problem. That's the game start. Preparation isn't a step before the work. It's what you do instead of the work when the work scares you. You're not getting ready. You're avoiding the part where you might fail. And here's the part nobody tweets. It looks exactly like progress from the outside. Full notes app, saved videos, 3 different plans, 0 reps. The tutorial isn't training you. It's keeping you busy while the clock runs. And the clock is running whether you're in the game or not. The only question is, which version of you shows up when it stops? I'll catch you all on the flip side. Take it easy.